Cat's car case. Let's talk about why it's so hard. Let's drive.
Get down. Get down. Get down.
Listen, it's hard. This is hard. This is not easy to do. There's a lot of benefits and reward, but it's not easy. Let's use an example that just went down this Monday. On the Monday Night Football game, there was a young sideline reporter. I think his name was Sergio Dipp. You'll have to forgive me if that's not their name. At any rate, they throw the broadcast down to him for the first time during the night. And needless to say, it wasn't the best sideline reporting ever done.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys here on the field. From up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph from here. You watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL. And here he is, having the time of his life.
So I immediately picked up my phone because I was dying to see what the reaction was going to be on Twitter. I love you, Twitter. You didn't let me down. Immediately, the reactions come pouring in about this poor guy. Some nasty, but most of them just kind of, funny. I mean, it was a funny moment. Now, look, here's what happened. First of all, a couple things. NFL's struggling with ratings. They're a behemoth, but their ratings went down. ESPN struggling big time as a broadcast network. So you have those two things that are going on. Now, what a great opportunity for ESPN to have taken advantage of what was going on around this guy, Sergio Dipp, to immediately, right then and there, inject some of that energy that the audience was feeling around his appearance, where for whatever reason there was attention, and to exploit that attention. Right? But they didn't do it, right? They didn't handle it at all. They didn't throw the camera back to the kid. Sorry, he's 20 years younger than me almost, so he is 20 years younger than me, so he was a kid in my eyes. They didn't throw the camera back to him for the rest of the night. That night, he gets back to his hotel room in San Diego or Denver, wherever the game was being held, and he gets on his Twitter, and he goes on this, 2-minute soliloquy that sounded kind of sad, and oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity. Now, here's what they could have done. They could have, and what they should be doing, the producer of the show should have a media producer, a social media producer that goes along lockstep, right? That understands, that's paying attention to what's going on for the broadcast. And by the way, not hard to do. You just simply follow the hashtags for the event, and you'll immediately start to see what people are talking about. And they would have been able to identify right then and there that the Sergio Dipp appearance was something people were talking about. Now, here's where it gets tricky and where the effort was maybe a little bit harder for ESPN. They could have decided then and there to make him a bigger part of that broadcast. And why not, right? It was the first week of the season. The East Coast probably wasn't watching a whole lot of the game. Nobody's going to remember 2 weeks from now what happened on that broadcast. So why not gamble and take a risk and make that guy more of a star of that moment? They missed that moment. And look, ESPN's this gigantic broadcast network. So if they don't have the wherewithal to take advantage of that media moment right then, there in the moment, what makes you think you're going to be able to do any better if you're a small organization? And oh, by the way, your resources are taxed, and you have to decide exactly what, where, when, and how you're going to make your media investments. So it's not easy. But it's not that hard either. It's not that difficult to unlock. And oh, by the way, the media moves so fast that if we make a mistake, so what? We move on to the next thing. That's all I have for you. I guess the takeaway is, be a little bit risky. Pay attention to what's going on. Jump on top of the conversation and do what you can to gather and maintain and hold some of that attention. See you next time. I was excited to talk about that one because I loved how it evolved in the moment. And look, between you and me, this is a great example. What is it, Wednesday today? When I'm filming this, you'll probably see it on Thursday. So I'm 4 days removed. It's not even a story anymore. But I wanted to get my point across, and I think I did get my point across. Relentlessly produce. And look, here I am going on. The point is, come on over and subscribe. See you next time.